I met How many takes is this going to take? All I've got to do is, if I'm not happy with what I've said, chuck a swear word in, right?
Sure.
Brilliant. Guy Richard Mitford Harvey, and I am what's considered a senior designer, although I don't think that encompasses everything I do. So I met Ian at Coventry because we both studied industrial design transportation, which is the actual name of the course, obviously. We moved around the world a little bit doing that, and then met Neill, and we all ended up working in Germany for various different, automotive design companies. And so this idea of creating our own car then sprouted after we all ended up buying Lotus Elises and taking them to track days and being just a tiny bit, I mean, they are great cars, but they just weren't quick enough. We were being overtaken by Volvo T5s down the straight at Hockenheim and various other things that were always a bit of a compromise. And having another person in or not in the car is also a compromise dynamically. So that's when we decided, as a concept, to initiate this. How would we create a single seat, fast, street legal vehicle to be able to drive back and forth to track days? I must admit I was against having a single seat car because I kind of romanticized this thought of taking people with me around a track. And actually, every time I have taken anybody with me around a track, one of us gets sick. Could be me or them, actually. To be honest, I have vomited out of the window on a track many times. I say many, twice, but I think it's enough. Yeah, what do I do around here? Well, I can't remember. I found myself in a little bit of a quandary because it's very difficult to create a conceptual form, which is aesthetically pleasing without thinking about if it's going to work or not. So in a way, I kind of feel like I bridge a gap there between the pen-pushing dreamers and the nightmare that is the engineers. So I'm sure they'll appreciate the statement. The first car I owned, well, it was kind of, I didn't buy it myself. I was actually given it by my father, and it was a Ford Escort Mk3 1.3L Estate in silver, obviously. Great car, actually, if I remember rightly, and it only took me about a year before I completely wrapped it, over a pretty high curb and into some greenery. Bent it quite a lot, I seem to remember, but no injuries. But I did have to exit the car vertically. If I had to spec a car for myself, I think, and I've deliberated over this for, I would say, quite a long time, and I keep going back to the original kind of just what we consider to be a standard kind of color scheme for it, which is white on black, essentially. I struggle to beat it, although I would like a completely black one also. Maybe I should have a collection. Not sure how that's going to work yet, but I'll let you know when I know. But I've done quite a few little, sketches myself of paint schemes, and not really happy with any of them. Don't put that in, that's just ridiculous. But Murray was useless at the beginning anyway, and he hasn't become any better over time, and this is one of our issues.